practice, from home, and, stop at any time, or like if there's a particular part of the class that you like more than another, a person could do that as well. And so it's, yeah. So if you Google my name, Rob Diggins, that's Diggins, and just say Chair Yoga, Rob Diggins, YouTube. There's a bunch of them there. Yeah, Diggins, like, yeah, Diggins, yeah. It's related to the name Dickens or Higgins, or, they're all sort of related, but my name is Diggins, like the Diggins. So.
Maybe I set down to my memory as zip.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I'll create that calendar schedule too, that I mentioned for the upcoming months. And thank you so much for sharing. It was really, really great to hear that, especially conditions that are chronic, things like hypertension, and sometimes people are suffering from like some kind of affliction to the kidneys or to the liver, and they also find that the yoga practices create an easefulness there too. So we begin another class, and this class is a continuation of the Joints and Glands practices, Joints and Glands Exercises, and we begin by centering, so sitting tall with your head and your neck and your spine as straight as you can. Let the breath help you to arrange the spine according to your individual capacity. So without feeling there is necessarily a right or a wrong, more letting the natural flow of the breath and the prana, or the vital life force, which is carried in the breath, to help lengthen the spine. And as you straighten your spine and allow it to be tall, you can sense the breath in the nostrils, and feel the breath traveling from the nostrils as one stream into the center of the skull. And you feel the expansion of the breath in the abdomen, and the relaxation with the exhalation. Letting the breath flow in the body like waves coming and going. Moving the body, expanding the body, and letting the body relax and move with the breath in an easeful fashion. Swami Shri Rama Vande Guru Param Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And continuing to let the breath flow and feel the breath flowing at the nostrils as the breath travels up the nasal passageways as one stream into the center of the skull and down into the abdomen where we feel that expansion and relaxation. Let the awareness expand out from the breath to feel the body as it sits in the chair, the feet supported by the floor, the buttocks and the spine nice and tall. And with the exhalation and the prana of the exhalation, let the chin descend towards the chest, let the face relax, come down, folding in like a giant letter C. Just let the head and the shoulders round in. And as you inhale, unfurl the spine, lifting the heart region, letting the arms just dangle, lift the face and the chin, open the neck. And as you exhale, as your exhale comes upon you as a wave, let the chin and the face and the spine roll in, moving at your own breath rate. As you inhale, this spine straightens out, unrolls in a supple fashion. And as you exhale, the wave of the breath folds your spine in on itself, your back rounds towards your chair, you round in, and you continue as the breath continues, moving the body with the breath, opening, lengthening the spine on the inhalations, and then flexing the spine inwards on itself like a giant letter C as you exhale. And the next time that you inhale and lengthen the spine, once your face has come up towards the ceiling, as you exhale, just lower the chin ever so slightly. Remain with the spine long and breathe. And we move into exercise number 2. As you exhale, lower your right ear towards your right shoulder. The chin stays level, and you open the left side of the neck, and your inhalation straightens you back up. Your crown of your head comes back up. The next exhalation takes you over to the other side. Again, the ear is descending towards the shoulder on the same side. The inhalation brings you back up. If you want, you can mentally recite a favorite mantra or favorite name, or simply count the breath, observing the length of the inhalation, observing the length of the exhalation, and feeling how the spine is now moving side to side, and the head and the neck are coming over according to your capacity. You're noticing the qualities of the neck muscles. As you go to one side, the neck muscles on the other side are lengthened. So you invite the breath, invite the prana into any areas that feel tense and invite them to soften. And wherever you are, after you've done it 5 or 6 times, inhale back to center. Place your hands on your thighs. And prepare to practice lion pose, where we open our mouth, stick out our tongue towards our chin, look out through the tops of the eyes, pull our ears back towards our neck, down towards our buttocks, and relax. And we'll do that one more time, just to explore the movement. So opening the lips, peeling them back, sticking out the tongue, opening the eyes, drawing the ears back, drawing the skin of your back down towards your tailbone. And relax. Let the eyes close for a moment. With the lips closed, assess the level of saliva that you may have in your mouth. Now we move into a slightly more extended version of the lion pose, placing the palms, palm down on the knees, extending the fingers like the claws of a cat, gripping the floor through our shoes or with our toes, drawing our heart forward, sitting up nice and tall, sending our tail down towards the back of the chair. You will exhale completely like a tube of toothpaste, and then inhale fully. Open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue, your eyes, and exhale sharply as you pitch forward from the hips. So first we exhale deeply, inhale fully, and go into the pose. Then relax. Relax everything. Relax your head and your neck. Soften your belly. Catch your breath. And come up slowly using your hands on your knees. Just come up ever so slowly so there's never any feeling of stress. Perfectly safe practice, Simha Kriya, the lion pose, is excellent for establishing this full flushing of the lungs, because we exhale like a tube of toothpaste, then we inhale deeply, then we pitch forward. So let's try that one more time. Spread the hands, the claws, spread the toes, draw the heart through, shoulder blades on the back, arch your back a little, send your tail back, exhale deeply, inhale fully, and go into the pose. Then you relax completely. Soften your head and your face. And when you're ready, come up slowly, using your hands and your arms and your back to bring you back to that full arrival. And now we'll do a little work for our hands and our arms. So float those up to shoulder height, relax across the shoulders. Exhale the hands down the wrists, inhale up. Exhale down again. Stretching the backs of the arms, inhale up. Stretching the lower portion of the arm, exhale down. Rest whenever you need to, and then when you inhale, this time take your hands up to the right. Exhale down to the left. Once again, you can count your inhalation or repeat a favorite name of the divine. Exhale, and then go the opposite direction, inhaling up. So for example, some persons might repeat Om, 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 and others may repeat another expression, or simply just observe the breath. And come back to center and lower the arms.
Apologize.
That's okay.
Your teachings this morning.
Yeah. Okay, and now make some circles with the shoulders and towards the ears and then onto the back and down. Really enjoy like a giant bird, flexing your wings in the morning, drawing the shoulder blades down. And as you come forward, your arms kind of round in. And as you go back, your palms open up. And so you have this inward rotation of the arms and the head. And then as you come back, you're like draping your arms over a railing. You come forward. Draw, and gradually let the arms kind of make larger arm swings so they start to come forward like you're diving, and really reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale down according to your breath. So you're inhaling, coming up, flexing the spine, and exhaling, extending the spine, rolling in. And this time, just let the arms come down, bring the hands back to your legs. Sit for a moment with the eyes closed. Scan the body from the crown of the head, through the face, and the neck, and the shoulders, the arms, the torso, hips and legs down to the toes. Feel the breath moving the body. Now squinch the eyes and squinch the lips and the cheeks towards the tip of the nose. Squinch up the entire face. Squinch, 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 hold. And release. Release completely. And now we'll involve more of the body in a total squinch. So bring your awareness into your hands and your arms and arrange them so that you would be holding a couple of soup bowls. Palms up. Fold in the little finger, ring finger, second finger, first finger, thumb, and just tighten up that fist, tighten it a little bit more on each side, tighten the wrists, continue to hold, tighten the lower arms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, squinch up your face, squinch up your torso, your abdomen, your buttocks, your legs, all the way down to your toes. Hold a complete body squinch while you breathe through your nose. Squinch a little more. Hold the squinch a little longer, tighten it a little bit more. And release completely. Nice.
Feel the blood going in your fingers.
Yeah, be careful that you don't get stuck. So sometimes if you ever notice that you held your hand in a certain, and then you go to release and it like doesn't just immediately come out, it may mean that you could up your hydration. So just be sure to hydrate a little bit more. That's kind of a classic symptom, you know, like spasms in muscles or cramps in muscles. Usually like the first aid for that is to just drink some water. Just like, you know, sometimes somebody will say, I got a cramp, what should I do? And well, you know, like relax it, but usually I say, here, drink this. And it's amazing how quickly your body will take in that moisture, and it's a great first aid, you know, for that kind of stress. Okay, so your body has a natural relaxation response, and which is why we do the squinches. Okay, so we've been doing the joints and glands practices. We've started with our head and our neck and the breath movements. We've worked on our shoulders, our hands, and our wrists. So it's time to work into the spine and the torso, and we're going to take the energy down into the lower body. So sitting tall, begin by giving yourself a little twist towards your right knee with your torso, and then bring your heart out over that knee, so like leaning forward, and then take the chest over towards the left knee, and then back towards your chair, so you're concealing it, and then bring it out as if to display it take it across your knees over to the other, and then tuck it back in. One more time in this direction to bring it out. So you're making big swirls with your spine. This time, when you've got it tucked in, reverse the direction, bringing your chest and heart region out over your left leg, over towards the right, and then taking it back in. And notice how this is really getting into your legs, your buttocks, your hips, and your pelvis at the same time that you're flexing your spine. Take one more big circle and flex of the heart forward, and this time just take it back, conceal it, let your head bow in. Arrange yourself so that as you inhale, you just come back up nice and tall. Good. Okay. Nice. So now we're going to do a little work for our pelvic region. So to do this, close your eyes so you just bring yourself right down into your sit bones. And do your best to widen your sit bones. You can do that by tilting your pelvis forward towards your knees just a little bit, and send your left sit bone back towards the left, and then send your right sit bone back to the right. You can use your feet to feel that tension there. Good. And now tuck your tail so that you tilt your pelvis the other way. So you're taking your belly button area back towards the chair just a little bit, and then take that forward again and tilt the pelvis forward. And then on an exhalation, tuck the tail and bring that area back in towards the chair. And then inhale, just come back up straight. So sit tall for a second, and I think everybody, I had my eyes closed, so I wasn't observing if everybody got that. But essentially it's as if these pants have a cord, like a pajama cord. So when I say to tilt the pelvis forward, it's as though I'm pulling that cord forward, and this part of my body is pitching forward like this, like I'm dumping the contents here, out here. And then when we go the other way, it's like I'm tucking that back in, like this. So then I bring it forward as I inhale. You can put your hands here if you like you have vest pockets, like those diagonal vest pockets. So you have your fingers like this. So you bring it forward, and then exhale, take it back in. Then inhale, bring it forward. Then exhale. Inhale one more time. Good, and then just set your hands down. Now, there's a very special practice called the fire breath. Agni Sara. Agni, like it's like igneous, like igneous rock, and ignite, ignition, fire. And Agni, A-G-N-I, is the Sanskrit word for that. So, and Sara, like Sarah, but without the H, S-A-R-A, means a flow. So Agni Sara is like the fire flow, or the flow of fire. And the yogis believe that we can really stimulate our digestive fire, our solar plexus. It's called the solar plexus, and it makes you wonder, why is it called the solar plexus? What does it have to do with the sun? It has to do with the fire, the digestive fire, the gastric fire that's in the intestines area here, from the ancient times. So the idea is to, as you exhale, to actually begin the exhalation. So you inhale, you can feel yourself inhaling so deep that your belly expands. And then you begin the exhalation by drawing in here, bringing it up into here, and then your lungs. And then you inhale here first, then down here, and finally down here, okay? And so the pelvic floor, so the actual floor of the pelvis, if you bring a little contraction to that region, kind of like a Kegel exercise, just a little drawing up, kind of a scissoring feeling. The buttocks maybe tense a little bit. As you exhale, the whole thing is like a big tube of toothpaste, and you're just squeezing the air out. And then as you inhale, you feel the air descending. And then again, start at the pelvic floor, exhale. Inhale. And relax. Now those are pretty deep and substantial breaths. So again, when you first start to practice this, you're wanting to be practicing within your capacity and not getting dizzy, not feeling like you accidentally, gotten hot. But sometimes you do feel fire. You feel a little bit of heat from really squeezing like that. So my teacher said that if you only had time to do one practice every day, this is the one to do. Agni Sara, yeah. And he would say it's the secret to longevity and good health. And I kind of think it's true. I've seen some of the teachers in their 70s in our tradition, and when we're in a teacher training, they always pull up their, shirt to show us, their bellies. And I'm always like, oh, it looks like a 17-year-old. It's shocking. It's smooth and very supple. I think, wow, there's, what more proof do you need? Yeah. So if you remember that, Agni Sara, you can try saying it, Agni. Yeah. Agni Sara. Yeah. That's the Sanskrit word, Fire, flow, essentially. Agni is fire, and Sara means to flow. Okay, so we've done a pretty good job. Crown, the face, the neck and everything, all the way down, the tongue even, we've got a little saliva. We're working on the digestive fire, lunch is coming, it's good. So let us finish our work with lower limbs. And so again, sitting tall, really coming into the flow of the breath, and come into the awareness of your right leg and foot, and float it up. You can hold it up with your hands if you want, and then make some circles with the foot, with the ankle, and really notice how those circles are flowing. And speaking of flow, and reverse that direction, and point your toe and circle from the knee down to the toe. Reverse that direction, so you're doing about 3 or 4 times each time, and then bicycle. And these movements can be large ones, like where you're really lifting and pushing and pulling, or they can be small. And again, you can stop and rest whenever you need to. You really have to observe that. And then go to the side, and almost as if you're going to cross over, you may have quite a bit of flexibility here. So really you want to explore your hip joint there, and then reverse that direction. Keep the foot energized by spreading the toes maybe while you do this. So you're really active. Yeah, stop whenever you need to. And then come straight back. The trick is, and it's something we have to learn, is to stop before we need to, right? That's very tricky. So, okay, and then the leg is extended. You can either put the heel down or keep it in the air. And you're stretching the underside of the leg, then the top of the leg, then the underside, and the top, the underside. Then make a fist, really ball up the toes, just like you're squeezing. Really make a fist with that foot, hold it, and then spread everything. Expand the sole, and again, squeeze, sole, squeeze. Good. Then turn the sole of the foot towards that side of the room, and then the other way, and again, one side, and then the other. And then we put the base of the toe, big toe down, keep the heel up, sit tall, mindful of the chair leg, and then just quicker than the eye, bring the heel back. And as quick as you can, just put a little jolt of energy into the movement. Just explore. You know, you're moving at a certain speed. Could you go faster if you just focused your energy and suddenly moved it? Yeah. Good. And then set that leg down and pat it down from the knee to the hip. And here, without bruising the leg, be quite vigorous. And don't forget the underside, the hamstring area, and it can be kind of noisy. Just encourage the muscle to let go into your therapeutic touch, and then really give your knee some heat. So kind of like we've done this before with our palms together. Well, just do the same thing on your knee, around the sides, the back of the knee there. Just really warm that up. And before we lean over that leg, sit tall so that you lengthen your spine, and then exhale from your hip as you twist a little to get over your right leg. Lay your belly down there so you put pressure on the abdomen, and then smooth up the leg from the foot up past the ankle, the shin, the knee, and the hip joint, and press with the surfaces of your hands. Like really press as strongly as you can. Take a different route each time, so you're covering as much of the surfaces of the leg as possible. Just like you're pulling on a big pair of stockings up past your hip joint. Do that 4, 5, or 6 times. And when you've had enough, just set that leg aside and sit tall. Sit as tall as you can. Come again, most fully into the awareness of the breath. You may feel the pulsing of your heart rate, the movement of your breath, and the presence of your feet on the floor, and the difference between your right leg and your left leg. Soften your forehead, and your eyes, and your cheeks. And now, opening the eyes. Bring your awareness into your left leg and float it up. When you're ready, make the circles with the foot and the ankle. 3, 4, 5 times in one direction, and then the opposite direction. Rest whenever you need to, then point the toe and make circles with that lower portion of the leg from the knee. You can vary these by making tiny little circles sometimes, and big circles another time, or maybe you make more of an ellipse type shape.
Figure 8.
A figure 8, yeah, you can do a figure 8, or you can make a triangle. You can have fun. The idea is to just move it so that you're aware of the movements, right? Okay, and after we've done that, then we bicycle the leg. And again, there's the pulling action and then the pushing. Or not. It can just be a movement that simply brings a coordination. So it doesn't have to be an energetic thing to beat the band, as they say. And then take it out to the side and over. Again, one hip joint may feel a little different than the other. Yeah, you can hold onto the chair if, sometimes to get a little support there. Reverse that direction. Good, and then straight back. Good, okay. And you can stop, and you should stop at any moment just to rest, before we continue. Then the leg is extended energetically, pulling up on the kneecap with your thigh muscle, and then you accelerate to stretch the upper surface of the leg, and pull back, stretch the undersurface, so flexing, pulling back, flexing. Excellent for the ankles, for walking, for strengthening those tissues. Make a fist with the toes and spread. So these exercises, the joints and glands exercises, are designed to help us image the body and to make those, continue to service those neural connections. And then the very real aspect, let's turn the soul this way and then towards that wall, is that the movements condition and strengthen all of the connective tissues, especially places which are so important for our activities, like our ankles and our feet and our balance. So then, when we've done that series, we sit up tall and we keep that left foot up on the toe. Really watch that you don't crash into the chair leg, and then just quick as nightingale or sparrow or swallow. Swallows, they fly very fast. I love it when they come outside and sometimes they just zip right by. They go so fast. Or a hummingbird, you know. Yeah, it's that quickness. I'm sure it requires real focus and then lots of energy. So it's an interesting, we're working with the awareness of prana or energy or the life force, and we're observing it in its smoothness, in its permeation, its flow in the breath. And then we do things like that where we witness like a very quick movement as well. So that permeative aspect of it, and then the spectrum of speed associated with it. So lovely. And that really brings us to the end of our time today, and but not without a relaxation. So I encourage you, if you would like to lay on the floor for the relaxation in corpse pose, you can. At the same time, if you prefer to sit, you can also do it that way. And so take your preferred position, and this will be a guided relaxation of about 5 minutes, and then we'll finish our class with our moments of centering. So we're sitting tall or laying in corpse pose, coming into the full awareness of the breath, flowing in the nostrils, flowing into the space behind the eyes. Feel, sense the breath moving the abdomen and the navel region. Relax the crown of the head. Relax the forehead and the eyebrows. Relax the eyes and the cheeks, the nose and the mouth. Relax the corners of the mouth and the jaw and the base of the neck. Relax the shoulders. And breathe naturally. touch of the breath at the fingertips and breathe naturally. Relax the fingers, the hands, wrists, and forearms. Relax the elbows and the upper arms. Relax the shoulders and breathe naturally. Relax the soft tissues of the cardiac center. Relax the navel and the stomach. Relax the abdomen and the pelvis. Relax the hips and breathe naturally. Relax the upper legs and the knees. Relax the lower legs, ankles, feet and toes. Feel the touch of the breath at the toes and breathe naturally. Relax the toes, the feet, ankles, and lower legs. Relax the knees and the upper legs. Relax the hips and breathe naturally. Relax the abdomen, the stomach, and the navel region. Relax the heart region. Relax the shoulders and breathe naturally. Sahana Avatu Sahana Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinam Aditamastu Ma Shavahai Shanti Shanti Shanti. And remember, you are not this body, you are not this senses, you are not this mind, but you have a body, you have these senses, you have this mind, you are a child of eternity. May we finish the class, if you like, in a traditional manner, with our palms together at our heart center. We say, now bind with all the love in the heart, the power of action in the hands, and the thought in the head. We say namaste. I thank you for today's class and all of the wonderful sharing that you graced me with today. Such wonderful words and knowledge of how this yoga, this prana is helping you to feel easeful. I get the sense that the three of you at least are, in pretty good spirits today, and I hope that's a fair assessment. You have bright